So today, I thought I'd do something a little different. Well, not really different. I think I'm going to try to do like a weekly shop chat. While the weather is chilly, we'll have the fire going. Just sit around and talk a little bit. But today, I'm going to pack some bearings. I'm going to try to get my truck brakes together on it. So I have some bearings I need to pack, and I thought I'd take you along, show you my way of packing bearings. On my other channel, which I don't no longer use, I still got videos posted up on there. But I did a lot of car stuff. I did some how-to videos, and even though this is more towards our future in gardening and property, you know, what we want to do on the property, and with Melissa wants mini goats, which is good. I'm if it makes her happy, that's what I'm looking for. But you know, I want to raise some meat chickens. Definitely want to do some egg laying hens. We've really been trying to pay attention to more, you know, what we were eating and how much we were spending. And you know, don't get me wrong, it's nice to get out every once in a while. You need to do that to break up what's going on in your life. Also, you do it to celebrate your life. You know, you got to do that too. But what I thought too is I'd bring on this channel some how-tos. Hey, I don't know everything. You know, I do know some stuff that have been taught from my dad, my grandfather, my uncles. One of them is packing bearings. I figured I'd bring you along and show you how I pack bearings. Now, if you got a different way to do it, a note in the comments. I'm open for new suggestions. I've said this before. Whatever makes things easier. You know, because if we spend less time doing something, we can focus on something else. This is my version of packing bearings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load up some grease. And I normally would do this with rubber gloves on, but unfortunately the box I had kind of dry rot, and every time I tried to pull one on, it just pop off into pieces. So I put a ball of it in my hand like this. I take the bearing. You got the larger end of it. So what I'm doing is I just slide it along and I pack the grease in it. Till you start seeing it come out the actual bearing or the top of the bearing. I went and cleaned the majority of the old grease out of it. See, like that? Right there. I went and cleaned the majority of the old grease out because it was broken down. So this will probably take a lot of grease to pack this bearing. But I'm just sliding it in. Who knows, this might do my hand some good. At the price of cameras, and you all spend some money on cameras. I'm not looking to be a YouTube star. I want to be able, if I can help somebody, help them, using you guys to learn off of. We've already learned a lot. You know, even though Melissa stays kind of quiet, she never really canned in the past, and she's been watching y'all can some stuff. We got a bath canner. I was able to get one of those pretty reasonable, but we are budgeting for a pressure canner. You know, because that's one step before we start a major garden, is we need to learn how to preserve our food. I mean, okay, so we've done it in the past with a freezer, which is all good while you got power. You know, moving out to where we want to go, I got to stay within about an hour and a half drive to work. Unfortunately, I've got about 5 more years. Unless things go the way we want it, then I'm going to step out. So I'm going to clean up. Yeah, but getting back to the power. So you know, the freezer's all great while you got power. I do have generator. That was something that we had an issue here even though we were in suburbia. We for a while there, we were going 3, 4, almost a week without power because the power company was trying to rebuild their infrastructure. It just was issues, and it was like constant for almost a 5-year span. So I set my house up on where I can plug in my generator and run the essentials, like, you know, in the winter heat. Summer was our freezers and our refrigerator. You know, so that'll be definitely done at the new homestead, but canning gives us the option of preserving a lot more for a longer period of time and not have to be dependent on a power source or a power company. I'd love to be off grid. It'll be a little difficult to go that route. Melissa says that I could become a hermit, move out to the desert and make my own way of doing stuff, but yeah, I think I'm going to ride the rest of my ride with her. She needs to have a little bit of the creature comforts around, and power is one of them. And I got to keep that hair fancy. She's going to make me cut that. Now I got 4 more to do. That's how I pack bearings. You pack them till the grease comes through the top and out through the sides of the bearings, and this bearing's packed and ready to be installed. Now how do I shut the camera off? Let me go clean my hands up. Now I want to talk a little bit about fixing stuff. I grew up in the city of Chicago, but I had a father that came off the farm in Alabama. I mean, directly off the farm. We used to, when I was younger, we'd go and spend 4 to 6 weeks down there on the farm, and it wasn't really a vacation. I enjoyed it though, but you worked. They had hogs, they had chickens, they had cows, they had a really big garden. My grandmother canned and the whole deal, and that's kind of what stuck with me. I really enjoyed being down there. My dad, he wants nothing to do with it. He won't even let us wear overalls as children growing up, because he kept saying that's all he had to wear. He had 2 pairs and he had to make them last, and that's all he had to wear, and we're not allowed to wear them. He doesn't want anything to do with a farm. He doesn't want to have anything to do with growing anything anymore. Animals, nothing to do with animals. And I get that, and that's because he probably had a different life with it. It was harder back then. That's why he came up to Chicago for employment, and he ended up becoming a Chicago policeman. He worked in factories for a little while, and back in the 60s they did a huge hiring of Chicago police, so he was able to get on. Provided a really good life for us, and I got no complaints, and yeah, but I really missed that aspect of the family life when we used to go down to the farm. When my grandmother and grandfather both passed away, it was never really the same anymore. And my grandmother on my mom's side, they preserved a lot of food and the way they cooked, because they came out through hard times, and you had to survive during the hard times. And it's kind of a lost art. Even like doing mechanical work or fixing stuff, back my grandfather, you didn't buy anything new. You fixed it. You made it work. You worked it till you couldn't work it anymore. And that's just becoming a lost way of doing things now. We drive older vehicles to keep a car payment out of our life, which has been good for us because we have our goal, and it's really helped us get there. But I'm fortunate because I can do the majority of the repairs on the vehicles. Everything we drive and own is under a 2000 model car. My van's got almost 300,000 miles on it. Melissa drives an older van, and we have a little Volkswagen that she likes that I've been working on and off. But the plan is this truck here, I'm going to use it for the property if and when we do purchase it. I'm hoping to get a foreclosure where I can go in and I can gut the space. But I won't be able to leave anything there. I'm fearful of losing everything to thieves. And it seems like it's happening more and more. Even here, we used to be able to leave our cars unlocked on the driveway. We lock our doors. It's not that it's unsafe. It's just better to be more aware of your situation than to have a situation. But that's what this truck's for. I got a small enclosed trailer that I'm going to set up as a workshop, and this will pull it back and forth to the property. Trying to be within about an hour, very most an hour and a half away from Chicago area. So it's going to end us up in Indiana, because no way are we staying in Illinois. And that's where we've been looking. It's pretty remote and out there. Like I mentioned before, I have this one piece of property that hopefully we'll find out maybe within the next couple days if we can physically go look at it. And to me, that I want to make sure that the infrastructure is good. I don't really care about walls, interior trim and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that the foundation's good, the roof is decent. I could do a roof. I just don't want to get into doing any joists or any water damage that's been caused over years of not having the roof covered. I'd like to see if it has a decent well and a septic system on the property. Both of those two. Wells can be very expensive. I'd like, if we get it at the right price, then I can go in, gut it out, and lay it out the way we want it, the way Melissa talks about it. One big kitchen, 2 bedrooms. One for guests, one ours. Right now, when everybody comes out to the house, we all gather in the kitchen, and this kitchen isn't laid out for it, and you get 7, 8, 10 people in there, and it's crowded, and then you're trying to cook, and yeah, but it's good, you know, but that's our plan, to have an open floor plan, and hopefully we can make this happen. You know, we were thinking maybe another 2 years, but I think that this is a good possibility. It may happen sooner. Thanks for joining me this morning. I'm out of coffee. I need to go get a little bit more. It's still kind of early. Melissa's got about another hour and a half before she needs to get up to get ready for work. But I'm going to clean up and head into the house. Maybe make some breakfast before she heads off to work. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Hit the like button if you liked it. Leave me a comment or a suggestion on something. I'm going to get me some coffee. Y'all have a good day.